Ah, the first day of the year. No better way to start it than at Universal Studios. And I think today we'll walk around the park and give you our best tips for visiting Universal in the year 2021. But before we begin, we publish theme park videos on this channel all the time. So hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button so you'll know when another video is ready for you to view. So I think most of these tips will be good for the whole year. There are a few I think maybe, hopefully, only good for part of the year as they have to do with the pandemic rules and things like that.
Right.
But most of these should be good for the whole year. The first tip I would say would be to get an annual pass. If you think you're going to come here at least twice, it seems to be beneficial to get yourself a pass instead of just a day ticket.
That's right, and for a multitude of reasons.
Discounts.
Discounts in merchandise and food.
And parking.
And parking.
And you get access to the pass holder lounge, which is on Hollywood Boulevard.
And they also have pass holder perks every so often as well, where you get buttons and you get magnets.
Yes.
And they also have like even a pass holder days.
Exactly.
Celebration. So all good things to have if you're a pass holder and you think you're going to come more than once during the year.
Exactly. Good idea.
They're also running deals every so often, so keep an eye out. Sometimes it's not just 12 months, sometimes it's even longer.
Yeah, your pass will be good for like sometimes 18 months.
That's right.
All depends on the deal at the time you're purchasing.
Exactly.
Now here's another little tip for when you buy your passes or if you just buy a day ticket.
That's right.
Use an American Express card because then you get access to the American Express lounge, couches, free seating, air conditioning,
snacks,
free snacks, there's water and chips and stuff. So if you have an American Express card, use it to buy your pass or your day ticket. And it looks like they have just opened up the park to the masses.
That's right.
We were here with early park admission because we have our annual pass. Also, you get early park admission if you stay at a Universal hotel.
That's right.
But another tip would be to get into the park as soon as it opens to you. Whether you get early park admission or not, get into the park at rope drop. Now the reason why you want to get into the park early, number one would be reduce wait times.
That's right.
You want to get here before the park fills up and the wait times get too long. And also during pandemic times, Universal does have a capacity limit. And there's a chance like you won't be able to get into the park if you wait too long.
That's right. During this week, this is the busiest week, end of December, beginning of the year.
The week after Christmas,
The week after Christmas is the busiest, so you want to get here as soon as possible and take advantage of that. Staying at an on-site hotel will help you automatically get into the park.
Yep. Now today we chose to start at Studios because we're just walking and talking, not going to do any rides. But for you guys, a tip would be to start at Islands of Adventure and to make Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure your first ride of the day.
And the reason behind that is because that's the most popular ride right now.
Yes.
It's the newest ride.
And typically, if you're here for early park admission, that first hour, they do standby.
Right.
And then if it's really busy, they switch it to virtual. So it's a good chance you could do a standby ride on Hagrid's, and while you're in line, get a virtual line for it. Double up your pleasure, double up your fun on Hagrid's.
That's right. Good tip.
Now, when it comes to virtual lines, you can get a virtual line as soon as you're on property, whether it's in the park or in the hotel, or if you're like us, driving by a hotel.
That's right. That's when we usually start trying to get our virtual line.
Now, sometimes those virtual lines for popular rides will fill up fast, so you need to check back regularly to see if they've released new slots for virtual lines.
Yes. Now, on the app right now, they're saying to check back at 11, 2, and 4 for Hagrid's.
But that changes with the season.
It sure does.
You never know when that rule's going to change.
That's right.
In fact, I think it just changed for this week. Another good tip for 2021 and probably going forward would be to bring a fully charged smartphone. At least one person in your party have their smartphone with them and fully charged.
That's right.
Myself, I'm only at 20%.
Always.
She's got the fully charged one.
That's right.
But why do we need that, Nikki?
For virtual lines.
Virtual lines.
For mobile ordering, and then for wait times in the area and show times as well.
Exactly.
You know, so you always have all that information right in the palm of your hand.
Yes.
Load up your credit card onto that as well, so then when you're mobile ordering for food, seamless and ready to go.
Good tip, Nick. So we kind of alluded to this earlier, but staying at a Universal hotel has some advantages.
It sure does.
Any of the hotels will give you early park admission.
Right.
The luxury hotels will give you a free express pass, or actually for your whole room.
Right.
Everyone in your party staying at the hotel with you will get an express pass. So that's the advantage of staying at those luxury hotels like the Hard Rock, Portofino Bay, or Royal Pacific.
That's right.
And another little benefit as far as 2021 goes, pandemic rules, if the park reaches capacity, they do not close it for hotel guests. They just open a separate line for hotel guest entrance.
That's right.
And I would like to mention, we're talking about virtual lines and wait times and stuff.
Right.
For some reason, Fast and Furious Supercharged the longest wait times since it has reopened. I don't get it, but be prepared. If you want to ride this ride, get that virtual line, or be prepared to wait a long time for it. Now here's a tip. It all depends on your own personal circumstances if you can swing it, but it's best to come during the off season.
That's right.
Like the week we are filming this is the week after Christmas, tends to be the busiest time of year.
Yes.
But of course that's when everyone has time off. That's why I say if you can swing it. Get those kids out of school, come when you don't think it's going to be crowded. In fact, you can visit orlandoinformer.com to check out their crowd calendar. Try to time your visit to low crowds. Again, if you can swing it. For this next tip, let's pop into the U-Rest zone. It will be quite appropriate. Ah, the U-Rest zone. Hopefully we won't have to use this tip for much of 2021, but use the U-Rest zones to get a break from your face mask.
That's right.
You can see my face right now.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but you can see it. And I can come in here, relax with my face mask off. All the tables and seating is like socially distant.
That's right.
So, good tip. Utilize these U-Rest zones, but hopefully by the end of 2021, they won't be necessary.
That's right. It's a good place to stop and have a snack and eat as well, because there's so many tables available, and because there's plenty of shade in a lot of those areas.
Yep.
So it's a nice tip.
And Universal Studios has what? 3?
Yes.
They have the one by the lagoon where the fountain show is. They have this one here, which is Fear Factor.
Right.
The old Fear Factor Stadium. And then they have one
near Mummy in New York.
Yes, one of the streets in New York City.
Right.
And then there's one in City Walk.
That's right.
And then if you go to Islands of Adventure, they have a couple over there as well. 2 or 3 over there.
Yep.
And here's a fun little tip. If you're going to visit Universal Studios and you want to ride MIB Alien Attack, check out my tips and tricks video to scoring well on this ride before you visit. The ride's always more fun if you can score well, and way more fun if you can crush your family members with your score.
Oh gosh.
Much like I crushed Nikki with my scores.
Yes, it's fun for him.
The wait time's only 10 minutes. I challenge you.
Here we go.
But before we can get on MIB, we do have to visit the lockers. Nikki is carrying a small backpack. My advice for you, my tip for you would be to travel as light as possible in the park. If you can do it without a backpack, great. The other option would be a 3-pronged fanny pack, because if we had that instead of the backpack, we can go straight onto MIB. And things like Hagrid's, a 3-pronged fanny pack is okay. And this is the free locker. The free lockers are smaller, and you can see even with the mini backpack that Nikki has, it's quite the challenge to get it in there. If you have a bigger backpack, a full-size backpack, they do have lockers that are larger, but there is a small cost for them, a couple bucks.
You people are MIB material.
$7.95 is a good score for me. And what was your score there, kiddo?
The worst I've ever done, ever.
Yeah.
And I was trying.
I totally crushed you today.
You crush me every day, so what?
Today was
Quit
worse.
bragging.
Today was worse than usual.
Oh my god.
Go check out my tips video for MIB. Well, now we need to make our way back to San Francisco. There's a tip over there I forgot to mention when we were by Fast and the Furious. I was just mesmerized by Fast and the Furious. I totally forgot that tip, so let's make our way back over there. So I've done a video, top 6 rides that will make you sick at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure.
Yes.
if you do not pay attention to that video, here at the clinic, the first aid station, they will give you free Dramamine. Tip number whatever for today, free Dramamine at the first aid station, and this is located right by Fast and the Furious. Now the one at Islands of Adventure is located at the very front of the park.
That's right.
Near guest services. And speaking of the front of the park, we're gonna make our way to the front of Universal Studios right now for our last tip of the day. But also, a kind of a little mini tip here. Go watch that Rix Top 6 rides that will make you sick, just so that you're prepared. The last tip of the day, bring your own food to the park. Let's explain. So what you can do, bring your lunch, keep it in your car, or rent lockers here at the front of the park. If you're renting the locker, you don't have to leave the park and go all the way back to the garage. But there are a couple of caveats with this.
Yes, so make sure that you're bringing it in a soft side lunchbox and that you don't have loose ice.
Right, loose ice is not allowed through security, so just have one of those ice packs. This little tip is a great way to save time and money, as theme park food can be very pricey, and as we mentioned before, the wait to get the food can be very long. Holy smokes, I almost left the park without giving you one of my favorite tips. If you purchase something throughout your day, you don't have to carry it around with you in bags all day. The store will send it to the front at It's a Wrap. There's also a spot at Islands of Adventure as well. The stores will hold it for you, and you can pick it up at the end of the day. Don't lug that stuff around all day, please guys, please don't do that.
You can also send it to your resort as well.
Good point, Nikki. So those are our tips for the year 2021. Hopefully they make your visit here more pleasurable. And as always,
don't miss the magic, don't miss the fun.
I'm Tara from North Carolina. Don't miss the magic, don't miss the fun.
Thanks for watching Rixflix, and now it's time to relax. Hello and welcome to the Team New Flicksters. We have John W. as an executive producer. Sorry, John, you know I would just butcher that last name, so I had to go with W. And then we have Allison Aldman as one of Nikki's rock stars. Thank you guys so much for joining the team. And if you would like to join the team, become a Flickster, please visit patreon.com/RixFlix.